When you look back over the years, that PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and now with the PS5, there's just been so many banging games we can only appreciate. But as gamers, we kind of tend to get a little bit overhyped, and then when we finally get that game in our hands and we sit down and start playing... Finally gonna play some Last of Us Part 2. I've been waiting for this. So in this video, we're going to run through these 13 PlayStation games that for me were overhyped. And remember, it's all about opinions, so let's try not argue in the comments. Okay, we are ready. Spider-Man 2 is finally here. I have to play with the new Spider-Man controller. Let's go.
2 hours later.
Jesus is Lord! Oh, hell no!
Now, number 13, hear me out before I start getting cancelled, but we need to talk about Horizon Forbidden West.
What?
What? What?
Just hear me out. The game is very beautiful. One of the best looking games on the PS5. I completed it. I really loved the DLC and I really enjoyed the first game. And even though I wasn't too keen about the combat in the first game, I thought with the sequel there was so much hype around it. There's going to be some major improvements to stuff like the combat. The story's going to only get better. And then I just remember feeling a bit flat. For me, it didn't feel like there was much improvement. The story was okay. I was quite put off with the same old follow the cursor on the map. You know, that typical Ubisoft formula. The story just didn't really engage me as much as the first one. And the combat was pretty much the same. Maybe what didn't help me is that I was playing Elden Ring alongside this game, and that was probably a mistake because they're both open world games, but they're both the opposites. I remember thinking, I just don't like seeing this cursor go to here, and then I would switch to Elden Ring and I was like, wow, this is totally different. Maybe that's why I wasn't too keen on this game. I really enjoyed the DLC and was hoping that there would be a reason to get back to this game, and I completed it and I really freaking loved that big boss battle in the end. But after that, I never picked up the game, and even now I just feel like Horizon Forbidden West was just that game that was pretty much overhyped. In number 12, we have Forspoken, and when this was first announced, I was pretty much intrigued with this game. But as soon as we got that first trailer where we started hearing what Frey sounded like...
I'm somewhere that's not what I would call Earth. I'm seeing freaking dragons, and oh yeah, I'm talking to a cop. I just move shit with my freaking mind!
I really thought this game would be more of a serious tone. That's what I kind of got. That was my first impressions, and yeah, it was a total opposite. What's crazy is that the gameplay looked really fun. I did a first impressions video of this game, and the combat was kind of fun. But unfortunately, Frey was that unlikable that after 2 hours of playing that game, I didn't even carry on because I just couldn't be bothered. She was so unlikable. Why did they make her that unlikable to the person playing as her?
Let's not be ungrateful now.
She's very ungrateful. Mate, you're in this world with this cuff, and she's just like, eh. Like, I would be absolutely amazed. Now, I did say I would carry on with this game when I had a lot of time, but there's just been so many good games out. I haven't even bothered to touch it, and it's not even on my radar. A lot of you have said that the combat is actually really fun, but I haven't got down to seeing that. If there was no games to play, and I had so much time on my hands, I would probably give it a go. But my time is precious. So Frey, you're staying outdoors.
Don't touch me, asshole!
In number 11, I remember when Deathloop was announced, and I couldn't wait to play this game. Wait a second. This feels like deja vu. This looks so different from your typical first-person shooters, and the art style was really freaking cool. It was all about time as you play as Colt, who wakes up on a beach not really knowing why, and the idea of the game is that you're in a death loop. You have to visit certain places at certain points of the day and find clues to essentially progress the story. You will earn perks in order to keep upgraded weapons every time you die and trinkets. So as you die and die, you just basically get stronger and stronger. Now, I tried to play this 3 times. 3 times I tried to play this, and each time I just couldn't get back into the game. The second time I was like, no, let me start again, and I just found myself getting very, very bored. You have to kill these 8 targets in one day, and that's how you basically complete the game. Even though you're just going back to the same spots at different points of the day, it just felt so repetitive. It didn't feel like I was in a death loop. It just felt like I was going back to the same levels at different points of the day, ticking off a checklist, because you have a checklist in which you have to progress. It didn't feel like anything changed each time. The gunplay was very smooth, and that was fun. IGN gave it a 10. Well, of course, I give Stellar Blade a 7. In number 10... Wait a second. This feels like deja vu. Now, in number 10, guys, we probably have a game that I was probably the only one that was actually intrigued with this game. So this is my own hype for this game. And it was a free game on the PS Plus subscription service with Foam Stars.
You serious?
Yeah, I was actually excited for this. You remember when we got that state of play where we saw games like Fair Games? Well, with CGI trailer. Foam Stars was basically like Splatoon for PlayStation. I was like, you know what? I'm actually excited to play this online 4-player. It's free. And I remember I downloaded it. I played the tutorial and I didn't even get into a game. I was like, no, I'm just gonna play Helldivers 2. I don't feel the need to play this game. And I just didn't pick up the game again. I actually deleted it. And I was thinking, wow, didn't even give it a chance. And I don't feel the need to get back to it. There's just too many other better games. Do we need more live service games? Do we? Like, maybe there's some of you that are enjoying this game and you can comment below, but is this game gonna last? I don't think so. Who's actually playing this game? In number 9, we have Immortals of Avium. And again, I was really actually hyped for this game. I was like, if the story is good enough, I love what they're doing here. It was developers that were from EA and ex-developers from Call of Duty and people that made Dead Space. So I was like, yeah, I feel like this is going to be good. This could bring me back to that first-person shooter, because I used to love games like Call of Duty. And the fact that this is a fantasy world, you've got all of these magical powers. I think this game will be good, guys. I won't be wrong. I think I was wrong.
God damn it!
The combat was actually really fun. It was that magical FPS shooter, and I thought all they have to do is make a compelling story and we are good to go. But with those modern day writers, I thought this game would be more of a serious tone, just like Forspoken.
Got another one for Group 5.
Oh, what the hell is even that?
Oh, stop. He'll be your star pupil. Jack here's the soldier that was crucial to the rout at Yilthium Fields.
Kirkin's pet initiate?
I'm literally standing right here.
I don't get why they always had to go with this comedic sort of banter. Everyone's trying to be that funny. You know, Marvel movies, all of that comedy, like Thor Love and Thunder. It felt like these games were like, yeah, we need that comedic. Why couldn't you just make a serious game? There were so many bad jokes, and I felt like this was made for a 10-year-old. Now, in number 8, listen, don't hate me for this, because this is my own opinion, but this is all about discussion. A lot of you may be like, seriously? But on the list for me is Spider-Man 2. The combat, the music, that intro music was unreal. Oh, here's the music. Really looking back at the game, even though I platinumed it because I thought, no, this game needs to be platinumed, and it was my first game that I did platinum, it was quite easy. I just remember thinking now that I felt like the story was very, very meh. Do you know what I mean? Comparing it to the first game, I felt like that game was unreal. I just felt like it just had a bit more to it. It had a bit more risk. I felt like this one was played very, very safe. You worked with the police in the first game, and then for some reason in this game, it was like non-existent. I was like, I don't get why there's still not that connection. Spider-Man's always been like that in the games and the movies. A lot of times I just got thrown out of the immersion. I actually got the collector's edition. I spent a lot of money to play as Spider-Man.
Why am I playing as a deaf girl?
The side missions, I will remember thinking, my god, why did they put these in? And you know what ones I'm talking about? Like, it was just so immersion breaking. It was so much of it was just so forced.
Oh, VJ, of course. Matching sequin placers? Hell yeah.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
I felt like Miles' relationship with Haley, I felt like that was so forced. This is just too much, man. I thought Haley was a flipping NPC in Miles Morales. Never did I think I would want to play as her in Spider-Man 2. How about it, Insomniac? I'm so glad you did that. Like, MJ, look how beautiful she is. She can one-shot enemies, but then Spider-Man has to do a combo of about 10 flipping hits in the air. That made no sense. It just felt like they played it very, very safe with the story. Hype can do that to you, and I probably overhyped it myself. Oh yeah, and also that boss battle with MJ. Yeah, I couldn't remember what she was saying to him.
It's not about you! About me! MJ, what do you mean?
You can't keep a job.
Oh yeah, you've lost your aunt and stuff, and you can't pay them more. Oh yeah, you have to save everyone. You've got the responsibility of being Spider-Man.
In number 7, we have a game. When I first saw this, I was actually super excited. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they were bringing out a Marvel's Avengers game. And I remember seeing that first trailer and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so buzzing for this game. It was at the time where I was watching Infinity War. I was such a big Marvel fan. I was like, how can they even ruin this? The hype was real. That was the start when they started making flipping female characters looking like men. When I started quickly seeing more and more of this game, I started thinking, nah, I don't think I'm gonna buy this. I lost a lot of hype very quickly. I got put off from the fact that you play as all of the Avengers. I hate that in a game. I like to focus on being one character. It's like anything. If you cater for everyone, you cater for nobody. Did this game disappear quicker than my damn hairline in 2020? It was such a disappointment. Iron Man felt like he was flying 10 miles an hour, and Thor was pretty much killing all of these NPCs with his flipping hammer. To the average guy, one hit of that and their skull is going to be crushed. Like, Black Widow didn't appeal to me, Hulk didn't appeal to me, and I was like, none of it appeals to me now. And the story, I was just like, who the hell cares about Kamala Khan? Is that her name? Did I say that right? How could you ruin, at the time, probably the biggest franchise with Marvel's Infinity War and Endgame? You could have just done a single player story. You could have done a Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and just played as Iron Man or played as Thor. It was crazy that they managed to mess this up. I'm still in shock about that. That's got to be one of the biggest flops in Marvel history, as well as all their films, after Endgame. In number 6, we have a game that is probably one of the most disappointing launches to an FPS game with Battlefield 2042.
This map just seems like a battle royale map, but like in an FPS. Well, I mean, battle royales are FPS. Where the f am I? What?
Now, I remember at the time on YouTube, everyone was shitting over how funny Call of Duty Vanguard was looking, as nobody asked for another World War II game. And I remember seeing the comments on the Battlefield 2042 trailers, and everyone was like, yep, I'm invested in this one. And even I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to buy Battlefield. And wow, when that game launched, oh my gosh, I could not believe it. The absolute cheek from EA to release this broken ass game was a joke. There was no excuse to release a game like this, tricking your audience and long-term fan base of this franchise in buying a game knowing it is completely broken. They didn't even offer refunds for this game. That is how scummy EA are. No scoreboard at launch, just bugs upon bugs, crashes, guns not working. This took a while to get into a decent state, and maybe one of you guys can let me know, is this game actually working properly now? Is it fun? Because I haven't even bothered to touch it. But there is hope for the franchise for the future. Don't get your hopes too much high. I'm just saying that there will be another Battlefield game in the future. In number 5, we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Part 2. And I know you're probably pissed off because I always go on about this game. There will be spoilers for this game if you still haven't played it. Now, man, this game was hyped like nothing before. The epic journey with Joel and Ellie. Probably the best PlayStation storyline of all time. A game that made us fall in love with this character Joel, making us sympathize with him as he lost his daughter and managed to find a way to survive this outbreak even though he became a bad person. And I couldn't wait for the sequel of this game.
Anton? Anton?
It was so overhyped because the advertising of this game, it was showing that this was going to be another epic journey with Joel and Ellie, and it was the opposite. And maybe fans would have felt different if they knew. I don't know. I'm talking about the ones that hated the game. Would it have been so different if you just told us that this is not going to be the game you think it's going to be? Even worse, we get to play as the one and only... The Western world is pretty messed up because, you know what, we've got games like Stellar Blade and the Western world go mental about it. But obviously, you know, Neil Druckmann wants to give us a flipping show with Abby Zilla getting absolutely plastered from...
What the f***? Sexual healing. What the f***? What? What about Mel? Oh, no, wait, hey! What about Mel? Hey, whoa! What? I don't want to see it. No, wait. Whoa, hey. Oh, whoa!
Anyways, I know, you're probably scarred. We're moving on. In number 4, we have a Ubisoft game.
I was having a good day.
Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I was giving this game a chance. I think Ubisoft are coming around. This is going to be different. The same different. Even though Avatar Frontiers of Pandora looks incredible, there is no doubt about that. It is a beautiful game. I was hoping for something different from Ubisoft. Not just the traveling from one point to another, along with tackling down bases, and then that will unlock fast travel points. Yeah, that's in the game. The main missions were actually fun, but that is only 20% of the game. Literally, they were exciting. There was quite a variety. There was momentum. 80% of the game is searching and helping camps and helping people and collecting collectibles and crafting and doing these boring missions. They want you to be engaged with the rest of it, and I felt like this was very much hyped. A lot of people were thinking, could this be different? And it seems like a Far Cry skin. For the hardcore fans of Avatar, you may love this game. This may be the best game ever, and that's great, because if I loved Avatar that much, I probably wouldn't care, because all you want to do is explore Pandora. But for someone who's played a lot of Ubisoft games in the past, you're expecting something a little bit different. Now, at number 3, we have a game that I actually put over 35 hours in, and you know what? I enjoyed it for the most part, but it was nowhere near the game that everyone thought it was going to be. Being a game about Batman and the Gotham Knights, yeah, this was a big disappointment for a lot of us. Listen, I enjoyed it, but yeah, it's not what we expected. Looking back, it was quite frustrating to see this game, because this could have been quite a good game, but of course, they were inspired by a lot of those live service games. Now, I actually enjoyed the main missions of the game, and the fact that you could play as the 4 Gotham Knights was pretty cool. The customization didn't make sense to me. All of these things that you could combine, they were very, very confusing, because that was probably the live service aspect of the game, where you can combine these chips. I don't even know. I didn't care. I didn't even bother. The open world, it was actually very, very dead. There wasn't much to do. It was locked at 30 FPS, which I didn't mind, but the bike felt like it was going 5 miles an hour. Now, I played as Nightwing pretty much all the way through, and I thought, you know what, when I complete this game, because I enjoyed it, I thought, you know, I'm going to play as the other characters next. Have I picked it up? No, there's just too many other better games. So now, at number 2, this has got to be the most advertised game in gaming history. Literally, I think they spent all of the budget on the advertising and forgot to make the damn game. Cyberpunk 2077 at launch was, oh my gosh.
Yo, officer.
Hey, I'm standing here.
Don't get me wrong, it is one of the best games now, and I think that DLC is incredible, but we are talking about what games that were overhyped. This was the most shocking release to a game I had ever seen, because even PlayStation and I believe Microsoft actually took it off the store, which they never freaking do.
Hello, PlayStation customer support.
My PS5 broke for no apparent
reason. Well, buy a new one!
It's crazy to think that this game took probably over 2 years to actually get in the state it was probably supposed to be at. But nevertheless, it's kind of maybe a good thing that this happened, because now you just know CD Projekt Red would never actually let this happen again. Maybe other developers are thinking, you know what, we can't do that. We can't release that. Unless you're EA, because they still don't mind. They don't really care. You can get multiple playthroughs of this game now. It is an amazing freaking game now, but wow, it's nice to look back at the past. In number 1, this one still actually really much hurts, you know. I think I'm actually over this. For me, this was probably the most shocking release to an Arkham. This is the Arkham games. We're talking about Rocksteady, the people who made the Arkham games. And I just refused to believe before. I was like, no way this could be this bad. No. But they're not the same team anymore. They're all gone. I can't believe how quickly this game has died. Like, it is so dead. As of this video, I've seen online that Marvel's Avengers has actually got a few more concurrent players than Suicide Squad. That game is done and it's got more players. I don't understand and I don't see how they're gonna continue supporting this damn game. Like, this is crazy. And the marketing, those videos they created, who were they kidding?
It really is about delivering new places to explore, new worlds to be in, new stories, new characters, and creating unique ways for you to play.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
And even after that Joker release, who's actually bothered to play as the Joker? You have to grind so much to get the Joker. And those boss battles, I think that they're just recycled boss battles from the Justice League. That's how crazy it is. I don't know what they were playing out. It was more so the videos. I can't get over the videos where they're just trying to convince themselves. Well, they thought they were convincing us.
Suicide Squad, being a squad, felt like the right fit for the kind of game that we wanted to make.
So guys, what do you think about this video? What games do you think are overhyped? I know there's games I haven't mentioned. That's why you guys are here. So drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video. Top 15 linear games in 2024. Shout out to Arpit. Hey man, amazing content and you are an amazing guy. Love your videos. Keep it up. You should also try playing Infamous series. Play Infamous Second Son or First Light. Please give them a shot, any of them. I don't have a PlayStation quite yet as I'm a student and my parents don't allow me one, but one day I will earn money and get the PS5 and will play it as my first PlayStation game. Mate, thank you so much for the comment. Really appreciate it. Glad you like the videos and keep working hard, my friend. Listen, I've been there before back in the day. Keep working hard. You will earn the money and you will get yourself a PS5. Yeah, you might want to wait for the PS5 Pro or PS6. Yeah, I've never played any of the Infamous games properly. I wasn't actually playing my PlayStation back then, but again, we could play that on a retro stream. We don't even know. Maybe. There are just so many games to be played at the minute. We've got Stellar Blade. I'm actually so glued to that game and we're going to talk about that in the live stream. I know I haven't mentioned it, but thank you all for 50,000 subscribers. I can't believe we've reached that milestone. It's taken a while, but we've got there. And just to let you know, in the next few videos we're going to go through some giveaways. I've got a handheld, an absolute handheld to give away. I've actually got 2 to give away. We've got the merch launching very soon. I will let you know when it is, and there's going to be some other cool giveaways. Thank you for 50,000. Maybe one day we will hit 100,000 subs, but we're nearly there, making it full time. It's crazy how far we've come, and you never know. Anyways, we're done here. We're done.